Hey, this is Rob and Ted with Road Dirt. What's going on? And we are out here in Wenatchee, Washington. I'm out here with my buddy Ted, and we are getting ready for an epic adventure. We are going to ride God's own racetrack, as they call it out here. A lot of the roads of the great Pacific Northwest, Cascade Mountains, here in Washington, down into Oregon a bit, is going to be epic. I guess it was about about 3 months ago. I think you invited me to come on out and said, man, you got to come ride with me. And I think you even hit me up about this last summer too. And,
well, it's kind of where all of the riders up here, we've spent years scouting every back road, pretty much in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. And it's not a very well-known part to ride in. Most people think of great riding roads in Northern California and Colorado, which are great, but the Pacific Northwest is kind of a gold mine because there's very few people, great open roads, and it's just beautiful country. So
it is.
After writing a few articles like the best roads of the upper left, part 1 and 2, I think maybe somebody here got influenced and said, maybe I have to see what all of this is about.
Yeah, so I just I got tired of no more excuses. I'm going to go ride with Ted.
I can be persistent.
He can be. He drove me crazy, but I had to do it. Finally gave in, and man, flew out here, and tomorrow we leave for the epic adventure. I'm going to get to ride. I'm so excited. I'm going to get to ride the roads he's been writing about and you've been reading about for the last year and a half or so. It's going to be exciting. So tell us a little bit about what are the steeds we have right here that we're going to be taking with us here.
Well, actually, this is a bar bike from Bill Matzenbacher, Honda ST1300. My trusty VFR 800, which has been my traveling companion for, I can't remember how many years. Almost got 100,000 miles on of it, pretty much all of it touring. An occasional track day just to keep sharp. And of course, my beloved Honda Superhawk, which I absolutely adore because there's nothing like a 1-liter V-twin.
For sure,
the Honda Cotty is fantastic. It's
Honda
a
Cotty.
track weapon. It's got the crash cage on it. It's got sticky Pirellis on it. But with a gas tank that runs dry at about 100 miles, it can't do the 300 to 400 mile days we're going to do. Yeah. So I'll be on the VFR. Yeah, Rob will be on the ST1300, and we're going to put these bikes to the test.
I love his garage too, man. I'm looking around the garage here, and this is motorcycle. Look at all this, man. It's motorcycle and Mustang country because, as you can see, right back there in the corner, get Ted in the shot again. That is a 1966 Mustang with a 289, baby.
Which was just put back together before Rob came yesterday.
They picked me up at the airport in it. I got to ride here with it. It was so
and it
awesome,
held
man.
Together.
It made it together. With fasteners and prayer, man. So we leave out tomorrow. We're going to document the trip as we go. We're going to post some onboard footage. We'll put together some onboard, some photos. We're going to shoot live from different places out on the road and compile basically a documentary of, riding God's country up here, as we're calling it. It's going to be a great time. So stay tuned. We leave in the morning. And getting everything repacked and situated. Friday morning, Ted and I lit out southeast across the state. We left the Wenatchee River Valley, beautiful valley that he and his wife live in, and rolled southeast across the elevated plains of south central Washington. This is like miles and hours of just farmland as far as the eye can see. I mean, if you didn't know better and see distant mountains off, far away, you'd think you're rolling across Kansas or something. It was really amazing. In Connell, halfway across all this, we picked up Ted's friend and lifelong buddy, really, Dave Wensveen in Connell. And then the three of us kept on rolling, obviously, as you can see, rather swiftly across the rest of the state. We were making for Asotin on the Washington-Idaho border on the Snake River down toward the bottom southeast corner of the state. What was amazing to me was the different climates and conditions, really, the different environments that we rolled through. And up on the flatlands, It got up to like 91 degrees, and Ted and I were stopping and, you know, shedding clothes underneath our gear. And then after picking up Dave, and we got back into the rolling hill country, the rolling prairies, and started looking a lot more like the Southwest in places, just craggy, rocky valleys and things like that. The roads got more twisty and curvy. It got a little bit cool again at elevation. And man, it was a blast just rolling across the state at speed with these guys. They're both on VFRs. Interesting thing about their group, they're kind of two parts. The mild hogs ride sport tourers like the ST 1300, and then there's a little bit of a group of guys that kind of ride a little bit more briskly than the mild hogs do. This is Ted and his buddy Dave, another guy named Trevor Alexander, and a couple other guys when they're able to make it, that ride smaller, quicker sport tourers. Three of which of these guys were just booking it, man. And I'm still getting acclimated to this big 1300, getting used to it. But the longer I'm on it, you know, the better I'm feeling on it. At speed, the Honda 1300 ST is man, it's really quick and nimble. A lot of great throttle response. It leans over in corners really quick. I'm still getting used to it at this stage because I'm a little guy. I'm about 5'8", 150 pounds, soaking wet, and this thing is big. It's top heavy and crazy powerful, and I'm used to smaller, lower bikes. So I spent much of the 4 hours nearly riding out there, just really trying to get myself acclimated to it, as well as keeping those guys in my sights, if nothing else. I love the prairie, man. Just the open country was just breathtaking to me. Just outstanding. On the way, we decided to pull in to Palouse Falls. Palouse Falls is known for this dramatic waterfall that is about 17 feet taller than Niagara Falls. But to get down to it is quite the ride. You gotta kind of have to motocross a motorcycle through it, as well as Dodge cattle like you saw. That was a cool stop though, and then we continued on, just blasting towards the Soton across the wide open elevated prairies, the high country, the high prairie they call it, of southeast Washington. It was a beautiful day from start to finish. We rode up the hill at sunset. I had to get familiar with the bike, and Ted had to show me this sunset, man. It's going to be a heck of a ride.